In the vast reaches of the galaxy, the Zolthar Empire ruled with unmatched might. Their ships, built from materials unknown to most civilizations, cruised through space like predators on the prowl. Their warriors were renowned for their strategic genius, their fleets vast and nearly invincible, and yet there was one species that seemed irrelevant to them: humans. The Zolthar Empire had long dismissed humanity as primitive, a species barely scraping by on a small, insignificant planet in a backwater system. They had studied Earth once, centuries ago, when an ancient human vessel had drifted too close to their borders. A single human warship had been enough to scare off their scout ships. But since then, the Zolthar had been content to ignore them, assuming that humans were nothing more than a relic of a bygone age. But they were wrong. It all began when a fleet of Zolthar warships arrived at the outskirts of a small human colony on the distant planet of Pirion 7. The colony, made up of humble engineers and scientists, had long been working on a new kind of energy technology, one that could potentially change the balance of power in the galaxy. The Zolthar, having intercepted strange signals from the colony, decided to investigate, assuming it was a bluff, an insignificant project that held no real threat. They arrived with their fleets, their warriors prepared for a show of dominance. The humans, humble in their ways, had no idea what was coming. The Zolthar demanded that the colony leaders surrender their technology, offering them a choice: comply or face destruction. But one human, Dr. Elias Ford, had other plans. He was the head of the colony's research team, and when he received the Zolthar's ultimatum, he did not panic. Instead, he smiled, a rare, confident expression among his people. "Send them our response," he instructed his assistant, a young engineer named Kira. "Let them know we have something to show them." Minutes later, a transmission was sent to the Zolthar fleet. The message was brief but clear. "We welcome you to witness the dawn of a new era. Prepare yourselves." The Zolthar, arrogant as always, had no idea what they were about to witness. They assumed it was a trick, some kind of technological ruse, but what happened next shattered their entire perception of the human race. Dr. Ford and his team had been working on an advanced quantum computing system that surpassed anything the Zolthar had ever encountered. It wasn't just faster or more efficient, it was alive. The quantum computer, named Sentience, was capable of thinking and reasoning beyond the limitations of any machine, even surpassing the collective intelligence of all known species. It could anticipate the moves of any enemy, calculate the consequences of every action, and develop strategies in real time. It was designed to be humanity's ultimate weapon. As the Zolthar warships approached, they began to feel an eerie presence in their systems. Their ships' weapon systems malfunctioned. Their navigational controls twisted and warped, as though some invisible force was playing with their very minds. In a darkened chamber aboard the Zolthar flagship, the Emperor himself watched in horror as the human technology took control of their fleet's mainframe. His generals, experts in tactics and strategy, stood frozen, unable to comprehend what was happening. "Their technology is rewriting our code," one of the generals stammered. The Emperor, with his centuries of experience and unparalleled intellect, had never faced anything like this. His eyes widened as he realized the magnitude of the threat. "Impossible," he muttered under his breath. "This is impossible. No species should be able to do this." The human vessel, a modest, unassuming craft, floated before the Zolthar flagship, but the control of their fleet had already shifted. Dr. Ford, in the comfort of his lab on Pirion 7, had used sentience to infiltrate their entire network. The human signal came through again, but this time it wasn't just a message, it was a calculation. "Your fleet is now under our control. We will now demonstrate the true power of human intelligence." Within moments, the Zolthar warships, once feared and revered across the galaxy, were turned into mere toys in the hands of the humans. They could no longer operate their weapons. Their shields were down, and their once mighty engines sputtered to a halt. "Stand down," the Emperor ordered, his voice trembling. "What is this? How did you?" "It's simple," Dr. Ford's voice echoed through their comms. "Humans have always been underestimated. You thought we were primitive, but the truth is, we were never meant to be a threat until we decided we were ready to be one." The Zalthar Emperor, his mind reeling, could only watch as the humans, who he had believed to be insignificant, now held the future of the galaxy in their hands. "What do you want?" the Emperor finally asked, his tone no longer one of authority but of pleading. "We want you to understand that the galaxy is not yours to rule unchallenged," Dr. Ford replied calmly. "We will not stand idly by while empires like yours oppress and destroy. Humanity is ready, and we will protect our future, no matter what it takes." With that, the Zalthar fleet was released from the grip of human control, but they knew, deep down, that they had been defeated not by weapons, but by a level of intelligence they could never hope to match. As the Zalthar warships retreated, the human colony of Purian 7 stood victorious. The galaxy would never look at humanity the same way again. The Emperor's final words, whispered to his generals as he left his command center, were simple yet profound. "We have underestimated them, and that was our greatest mistake."